Here's like a shorter video explaining my program. I'm just gonna run through it really fast. So it's like the main method. I have like switch statements are basically what controls the flow of user input. So when the user inputs S, it does this. When the user inputs X, it does this. When the user inputs something that isn't S or X, it does this. Same thing with my student database class. This is what controls the database itself. The array is what contains all the students, and then I output to the user the options that they have to input. When they input A, it adds a student to the database. When they input R, it removes a student from the database. When they input D, it displays all the students' details to them, or it goes to the student details menu, where they can either display all students or display a specific student's details using that student's name. Case S allows you to search for student by ID, and then X just exits the database basically. Yeah. And then default is what happens when none of those options were chosen. And it's like my code for add student. Basically, I allow the user to go through linearly. So like option 1, so like enter the name, then enter the address, age, major, double, and then the GPA. And then if they want to go back, they can go back and change the previous one. And these cases basically control how many properties you've set. So if you set 0 properties, you have to set the name. If you set 1 property, then now you have to set the address. And so basically when you go back, it decrements the property set by 1, which allows it to hop back here. And then you just set all the properties there. I also added a new method that wasn't part of the assignment, just called remove student. First, it displays all the students that are in the list, and then you just loop through every student in the array. If the student's name equals the student's name that was in the array, remove that student whose name that was from the student database basically. And then display details is just a for loop, basically loops through every student, gives you their name, everything else, like student name, and then it basically, so this is like student name, which will appear on top of the student's ID, name, address. Go B back, check if it's empty. If it's empty, then do not even like do anything. Display student list. Just basically this is for student array, student. Oh yeah, this is basically for just when you click display details, it will automatically show this to you, so that you can know what students there are that you want to display the fine details of. And then display student details. This displays the fine details, like student ID, name, address. Search for student ID basically also uses a for loop. I also use a try catch for error handling. So if the user inputs something that isn't expected, like for example, if they don't input a integer, then I can catch that by using catch, by catching the number format exception or the string index out of bounds exception. And then get student property or set student property. This is basically what I do for every single step within the switch statement, all the way up here. I use a single function for every single case in the switch statement to reduce the amount of lines, and then I can just show the program working. I'm just gonna run it. Start. I can add student. I'll add student Billy, and you see I've made a mistake on spelling it, so I could just go back, respell it, and then address 665 Old Lane. Age would be like 20. Major IT programming, and then GPA can be like 3.5. I can confirm or go back. If I want to go back and do something else, I can enter the GPA. For some reason I have to do it twice. That's an error. 2.3, I can confirm. And then I can add another one. Get Rick 566 Yarrow Street, age of student 55, major philosophy, GPA like 4.0, confirm. Now I can display student details. You see this is the student list. That's what that lesser details was, and this is basically the find details function. Gives me the find details of every student. So here's the student ID W at 0 or W hashtag 0, and then Billy address, and then that was Rick, and then it just shows you again because it's a while loop. It'll infinitely go, and then I can display Billy specifically, which gives you his details. I can display Rick's. Display Rick's, which gives me just Rick's details. Go back. I can search for student by ID. I can get student ID. Let's get Billy. That gives me Billy. I want Rick. Here you go. And then I can remove a student by saying their name. Rick was removed from database. And I can go to display student details, and Billy is all that remains. And that's the program.